Today we are going to learn how to animate with symbols. So symbols is a cool thing that Flash has that lets you create loops in your animation so you can have characters within the movies also moving around. Um, so first of all, by default HTML5 is the top one. We're going to want to use ActionScript 3 for I think pretty much everything that we do in this. So just choose ActionScript 3. The rest of it's the same. Hit OK, and there we go. Okay, so symbols are a cool way that you can kind of have animation within an animation, right? We're going to go all Inception on this. So first of all, let's start with our symbol. Let's just try and make a bird flying across the sky. Okay, so let's start with our bird here. I'll choose my paintbrush, and it's just going to be a simple little seagull, something like that. Okay, now I need to convert this into a symbol before I do anything else. So let's go to Selection Tool, and I'm going to select the whole thing, and then if I right click on it, down here at the bottom, Convert to Symbol. And I'll name it Bird, and you have a few different types here. You can make it a button if this is like an interactive website kind of thing, or it could be a graphic. Trying to remember what the difference is between movie clip and graphic. I know there is one. Anyway, for this one we want movie clip. Okay, and then registration, this is like what you want this center point to be if you're rotating or scaling it or any of that stuff. Let's go ahead and move this to the middle in this case. But okay. Yeah, so see now put our anchor point in the middle there. Now, what I want to do is go inside this symbol and edit it some more. So there's a couple ways to do this. Either you can right click again and go in here to edit symbol or edit in place. Also you can double click on it to go inside, but let's just go here to edit symbol. Okay, so all I'm going to do with this is make it look like it's flapping its wings. Okay, so let's just go here, and I want to use onion skinning for this. So I'll turn on onion skinning. Right now it's only lasting 1 frame. We'll expand that in a sec. Okay, next here, let's right click on the frame, just the frame just to the right. I'm going to right click, insert blank keyframe. Okay, now we can still see the outline of it. That's because the onion skin is turned on. So this is the outline of where it was before. So let's go back to my paintbrush, and I want the body of the bird to be in the same spot, but just the wings are going to change. So let's have it bend a little bit more, something like that. Okay, and then let's make another blank keyframe, and then let's have it something like that. So that'll be the as far in as it goes. So then the next one will come back out. I'm just going to kind of trace over this one that we already did, and another blank keyframe. Oops, that's not quite in the right spot. Okay, something like that. So it's just 5 frames long. Let's turn off the onion skin. Instead I'll turn on looping and then hit play. Okay. So that's going way too fast. So if we want to spread it out so that it lasts longer, I could just click on this frame. Let's drag that over to 10. We'll just spread them all out a little bit. So that's 8. Move this one to 6, and I guess it should have been 9 instead of 10. Yeah. Okay, so now each one of those lasts for 2 frames. Let's look at that. Okay, good enough. Okay, so there's our little bird flying. but what we want to do is make it fly across the screen. Okay, so here we can tell we are inside the bird symbol, which is inside of scene 1. So this is like our hierarchy here. So if I go back here and click on scene 1, now we see our bird inside there. And if I hit Command Enter, it will export it, and we can see how it looks right now. Okay, next thing is to make it fly across the screen. So let's go to our selection tool here. Now we will choose our start and end point. So let's have it start off the screen over here, frame 1. And then let's say we want this to last for 2 seconds maybe. So it's going at 24 frames a second. 24 times 2, 48. So let's go over to frame 48 and let's right click and insert keyframe. And then on this one I'm going to drag it over here. Okay, so now it starts out on this side of the screen, and then by the end it'll get here. So the last thing I need to do is add a tween here. So I just click anywhere in the middle, in between these two keyframes. I'll right click, create classic tween. Okay, so now it will move from point A to point B. Now as it's moving, we don't see all of the changes in its wing shape because that's actually inside the symbol. But what it's going to do, see, we go inside here and we can see the different keyframes. So since this only lasts for 10 frames, it will keep going and repeating over and over for as long as scene 1 lasts. So that means it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4.5 times. Alright, so let's hit Command Enter, and it'll export it as an SWF, and now we can see that the symbol actually is animating itself and looping as it flies across the screen. Okay, so using symbols is really handy, especially if you want, especially if we wanted lots of birds doing this. Let's say I could have 4 birds on here. So let's just, we've got layer 1, let's name that bird. Layer 2 could be small bird, large bird, biggest bird. Okay, then over here on our library it lists all of our symbols. So here's bird. So let's drag this onto the small bird layer and go to our transform tool and make it smaller like that. And then over here on our large bird, let's have this one start out in the middle of the screen, and then the biggest one, drag it out one more time. Okay, and now if I hit Command Enter, oh, only the ones flying across. Remember that? Because these all only have one keyframe. So let's say the smallest one, let's insert a keyframe there, and then, oops, let's say we want that to go there. Actually, you know what? All of these I'm going to start at the edge. Otherwise it won't loop very well. They'll kind of jump into the wrong spot. Okay, so this one, let's put a keyframe and then move that across. And then let's put a keyframe. Well, let's move this over here first. So that right now there's only one keyframe, so it's changing this one. And then if I put a keyframe at the end, I could have that go down diagonally. Now let's try that. No? What? Oh. Know what our problem is? This is the only one that's tweened. See? So these ones are all just hanging out there until the very end, and then they're all of a sudden there. So I wonder if I can select all of these at once. Create classic tween. Yeah, I did all of them. Okay, now it should work. Okay, that's cool. Then why don't we make like a background here too? So the background, we could have it move, like make it look like we're driving in a car or something. Let's just go to our pen tool and just draw some hills. And just so I can fill it in with another color, I'm going to go all around and extend, make that a complete loop there. And then I'll change my fill color. I don't know what color that is. Go to paint bucket and fill it in. There they go, flying across the screen. And then maybe we want a tree or something. So let's make that black again. Okay, stupidest looking tree anyone's ever seen. And also, I don't know what green looks like on here. Is that green? Maybe. Let's fill it in and we'll see. I still can't tell. I don't know where brown is either. Yeah, sure. That might be red. Don't care. There we go. There's our birds flying in front of the tree. What if we want them to fly behind the tree? That's where our layers come in. So let's say our tree is in front of two of the birds and behind two of them. There they go. Okay, right on. Let's do one more animated symbol. So these ones aren't symbols yet, right? Because I can click on them and it just selects the colors. So, but the birds, they are symbols. I can't select them because they are not on a keyframe. But now if I select them, you know they're symbols because it just does that outline thing. So let's make one more symbol. How about a sun? Layer 7. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a sun in here. Let's make it yellow. I'm pretty sure that's yellow. Alright. Then let's fill it in with the paint bucket. And let's have some sun rays coming out of it. Okay. Now, I want to make this all a symbol. So I probably should have done it before I did the sun rays, because now they're all like separate objects. If I want to select it all real quick, I can just drag like that. So it selected everything, or I could have gone over here and just clicked that keyframe. It'll select everything that's part of that keyframe. Okay, let's right click, convert to symbol. Sun. We'll make this a movie clip as well. Okay, now it has changed to that outline. I'll double click to go inside that. So this is called editing in place, so I can still kind of see where things are laid out, but I know that I'm inside the sun layer, which is part of scene 1. And notice the timeline has switched because we only have one layer. If I go back to scene, there's all our layers again. So double click to go inside there. Let's make a new layer. I'm going to draw a little face on this sun. I'm going to zoom in. Something like that. Okay, so let's say we want him to blink every so often. So how about we this one's the face, sun. Okay, so I want to blink once a second or so. Let's make it last 20 frames. And so I'll just go over here, insert keyframe, and let's insert one at frame 10, and another one at frame 12. Okay, so frame 10 is when we'll have the blink happen, and it'll last for 2 frames, so 10 and 11. So it'll last, and then at frame 12 it'll go back. So what I'm going to do here, let's zoom in, and I want to go to one of my smaller brush sizes. First, let's just click on that and delete it, and delete it. But now I don't know where the eyes are, so I might draw, I might think they're right there, but then that's like way below where they were. So let's turn onion skinning on. So now I know where the eyes are on the other frames. So I'm just going to draw a little line here for the blinks. Okay. If I turn the onion skinning off, then it'll, yeah, something like that. Okay, now we need to make the rest of the sun last just as long. The face is lasting there for 20 frames, but the body only shows up for part of it. Oh, what happened to my sun rays? Let's draw those in again. It's because I was screwing around before and got all messed up, and I'm going to edit all that part out. So let's draw these rays back on. They're skinnier than they were before too. Boop, 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 boop. Drawing the sun rays. Okay, now let's just go over here and right click, insert frame. Okay, so it'll last that whole time and he'll just blink. Cool. Let's go back to scene 1 and let's test this thing out. There we go. Got our sun blinking in the background, birds flying across the screen. What a beautiful day. Maybe we want to make this background a different color. There's a couple ways to do that. One, we could go here to modify document, and this will just change the color of the, here where it says stage color, we could just change it to, oh, why don't we see blue? That looks like blue. I don't think that's blue. Don't really care either. So there's our background. Or the other thing we can do is, let's zoom out, hit Z, zoom out so we can see the whole thing. You could just make a new layer. So that's like the ground. If we wanted something behind that one, drag it below, and we could, choose our rectangle tool and draw something like that. So it filled it in with black. I don't know what color that is, but let's try that. Okay, so we've got that. Is that the same color I already had? No. Oh, I think that might actually be blue. There we go. Hey, I hope you have fun playing around with symbols and making some cool stuff. Have a good day. Bye.